Hello, and thank you for joining me again this morning. President Trump again has shown that he will be a listening president. He is paying attention to the opinion of his base. And I understand that so many people cheered last week US strike on Syria as a good thing, as a great thing, as a show of strength. And a whole lot of others condemned the action, citing no evidence and foul play. Whether the strike was a mistake or not, I'm not going to go back there again. I never supported the strike. I had my reasons. The same way many of you have your reasons for either supporting it or disapproving it. But, Mr. Trump took another bold step yesterday while appearing on Fox News Mornings with Maria. He said this.
We're not going into Syria, but when I see people using horrible, horrible chemical weapons, which they agreed not to use under the Obama administration, but they violated it.
They said they got rid of them.
Hey, look, what I did should have been done by the Obama administration a long time before I did it. And you would have had a much better, I think Syria would be a lot better off right now than it has been. I will tell you that when I looked at the pictures on any show or any newspaper, but especially when you see them on television, Putin is backing a person that's truly an evil person. And I think it's very bad for Russia. I think it's very bad for mankind. It's very bad for this world. But when you drop gas or bombs or barrel bombs, they have these massive barrels with dynamite and they drop them right in the middle of a group of people. And in all fairness, you see the same kids, no arms, no legs, no face. This is an animal.
And our Secretary of Defense, General Mattis, in his press conference, said this.
Our military policy in Syria has not changed. Our priority remains the defeat of ISIS. ISIS represents a clear and present danger, an immediate threat to Europe, and ultimately a threat to the United States homeland. In closing, the Syrian regime should think long and hard before it again acts so recklessly in violation of international law.
So, are they getting the news? I believe the president listened to the video I made yesterday appealing to him to please listen to me on issues regarding Syria. You can check out the video here. Mr. President, you are absolutely right. What is happening and what has happened in Syria is evil. The height of evil against humanity. And it's very regrettable. But the real question is, how did this all happen? How did we get to where we are today in Syria? So right now, we need to solve the Syrian crisis, Mr. President. And we have a choice. Going into Syria with the mindset that Assad is the enemy will be a grave mistake. Our collective enemy here is ISIS and other extremist groups around the world. And they must be defeated. And like you said during the campaign, can the US stop choosing winners and losers within sovereignties? Can we work with other regional partners and powers and knock off ISIS and Al-Qaeda once and for all? What we saw on TV and on the internet last week was inexcusable. It was horrendous. Appalling pictures and videos of innocent people gasping for breath, dying like animals. So I expect that we should investigate what really happened. Russia right now is calling for an investigation, and I want the US to support such move. Join Russia and other countries who are calling for investigation. Let us punish the perpetrators of this atrocity. Let the evidence that Assad indeed used chemical weapon be established beyond reasonable doubt, so that we can all channel our collective condemnation to such a transgression. Yes, Mr. President. President Obama did not take action against against ISIS in Syria. And you know why? You know why? We funded those moderate fighters that are now ISIS. You heard Senator John McCain call them our friends. When this same Putin, who we are all calling a bad dude and all sorts of names, was killing ISIS, US politicians blamed him for killing the fighters on America's side. Those whom we trained and supplied weapons and cash, taxpayers' cash. And that's why we did not do anything to stop ISIS during the last administration. You even echoed it on CBS Morning. You said the same thing. In all fairness to President Obama, the powers that be confused him. They confused him. And before President Obama could realize what was happening, he had already drawn himself into the murky mess in the Middle East. Because I knew President Obama had good intention in Syria. He does. I give it to him, he does. Chemical weapons are in the same class as nuclear weapons. If anyone or any leader uses it, it's a war crime. Knowing the consequences of using it, do you think Assad will be that stupid and naive to use it? If Assad uses chemical weapon and there are clear evidence that he did, not politicized intelligence, I mean clear-cut evidence that he used chemical weapon on X people or on anybody, any person whatsoever, he will be castrated alive. And then it will no longer be an American headache. Interpol will pick him up in a split second and he will be heading to the ICC. Everyone knows this. So what I'm saying is this: before we take any unilateral action like we did last week by sending missiles into Syria, we should investigate probable cause and establish the truth before taking military action. Otherwise, we will be violating not only the same international law we are accusing others of violating, but we will be poisoning the waters with other regional powers on the possibilities of working together in resolving all these global conflicts. It also erodes trust, which is crucial if we want others to believe and work with us. Please, I want to re-echo it again. We can scale back all these mistakes. Work with other powers around the world, Russia, China. Bring everybody on the table. Knock off ISIS, knock off Al-Qaeda once and for all. Deny them all the resources that is keeping them alive. Then we can come together and have a final political solution to Syria. It's a political solution. It's easier, very, very easier to achieve compared to the carnage ISIS is running on our world. A political solution will be key, extremely key. And Mr. President, I want you to use your good judgment. The time to do it is now. Russia is not our enemy. We've had our differences. This is time to move on and solve problems. This is not the time to bicker. There are a lot of things happening in our world that needs urgent attention. Please. Thank you for joining me. Please continue to subscribe to my channel. Always send me your questions. We'll be breaking the news as they are coming. We'll be giving you our honest opinion. This is not mainstream media. We try as much as possible to keep it honest. Please continue to subscribe. If you don't subscribe, it breaks my heart. Please subscribe so that we can encourage this channel and also encourage our producers to keep doing the good work that they are doing. You see, they are putting up these videos like very quick and as quick as possible. And please become one of our patrons. Our patron, they are our backbone. When you are our patron, you are telling us that you support what we are doing, and we appreciate you, and we will thank you greatly.